Hi, are you looking into CSAs for the first time? Do you have questions? Are you confused? CSA stands for something. It means something. And you may be looking at one and wondering, how do I choose it and what is it exactly? So in this video, I'm going to explain how a CSA works, give you a checklist for deciding how to choose one for yourself, and try to help you navigate the various definitions and various options that CSAs provide. I'm Tessa. I'm the farmer's wife at Willow Haven Farm in New Tripoli, PA. Our family has been farming organically for 12 years and sending our vegetables to households in the Lehigh Valley and Northampton counties. So in the last video that I posted, I talked about vegetable delivery services and how CSA programs from local farms may offer a better solution. To summarize, vegetable delivery services can run the gamut between national venture-backed companies who are using glitzy campaigns and marketing to online customers who are looking for better food. They oftentimes claim that they are supporting your local farmers. And we discussed in that video how a CSA program is actually a better solution if you want to support a local farmer. So now let's dig in to what a CSA is and how to choose the right one for yourself. First, I want to let you know that I am offering a checklist that will help you navigate these questions for yourself. That will be at willowhavenfarmpa.com/checklist. But give me a little bit after this video because I haven't posted it yet. What is a CSA? The definition that I like and found on localharvest.org is, quote, a farmer offers a certain number of shares to the public. Typically, the share consists of a box of raised products. Interested consumers purchase a share, also called a membership or a subscription, and in return receive a box or bag or basket of seasonal farm-produced items each week throughout the growing season. Okay, so that was a couple sentences long, and it encapsulates what a CSA is. CSA stands for Community Supported Agriculture, and for over 30 years has become a popular way for consumers to buy local seasonal food directly from a farmer. Actually, you might even go back to 30 years. 70s and 80s is when the CSA movement really started. Here's the bare bones of a traditional CSA. The original arrangement was a farmer makes an agreement with members of his community. The farmer grows crops only for his members and divides his entire harvest amongst them. The CSA members paid for the season of vegetables up front, in the winter generally, before the season started. The CSA member took shared risk with the farmer and agreed to accept good seasons and bad seasons, abundant boxes of vegetables or farm products, and scarce ones. Now you'll see that CSAs have evolved in many ways over the years. Competition and changing tastes for consumers have driven the innovations and the different options that CSAs now offer. So a lot of times there's more choice, somewhat less risk, possibly flexible payments, and other creative options. CSA farmers now have to compete with those vegetable delivery companies that offer CSA style boxes. Basically, a box of a variety of vegetables may be from your local farm, maybe not. Amazon and Whole Foods have teamed up so you can get groceries online delivered to your house in 2 days. And so farmers have been and are continuing to become creative so that the product that they're offering can compete and be superior to what you're finding from national brands. Some traditional CSAs still do very well, but most of them have evolved in order to give you some ability to leave items that you don't like at the farm and perhaps pick up something that you like that someone else left. At the other end of the spectrum, customized shares are gaining popularity and filling a need for members that don't want to waste food and would rather not see a certain type of product in their box. Now, CSAs originally were started as basically vegetable shares, but it was such a good idea that farms that produced meat and other products also got in on the movement very quickly. And so we talk about vegetable CSAs. Also, you can have meat CSAs, and there's lots of takeoffs. My daughter offers a flour CSA, and so a lot of times it's a subscription program, and it's a commitment for a whole season to one farm for those products. Now, a great way to choose a CSA is to determine your own goals and ask yourself questions in order to figure out what your priorities are and what you're looking for in a CSA. So first, why are you interested? What is it that you want to get out of a CSA? If you know your goals, you can find a CSA that's going to meet them and not have false expectations of your farm or your farmer. People join CSAs for different reasons. One of them is that we hear frequently is, I want to eat more vegetables. So a CSA, because you're paying up front and you're getting your box of farm products, in our case, we're going to talk about vegetable CSAs because that's what our farm grows. When you pay up front and you make a commitment for a whole season to get vegetables every week or every other week, you are changing your habit. You are promising yourself that I'm going to do what it takes in order to use the vegetables that I've bought, and that I'm going to use them, and therefore I'm going to eat them, and ideally it'll make me more healthy. Isn't that the ideal that you're seeking when you have those reasons? Another reason is to support your local farm, support a local farmer. Many of you have tried vegetable CSA boxes, and what I mean is many of you have tried the online vegetable delivery products. I had one customer sign up 2 years ago who said, yeah, I kind of liked the Hungry Harvest box or whatever it was that was coming to my door, but it was a lot of packaging, and I knew that it wasn't coming from a local farm, and I decided, why don't I spend the same money and join a CSA in my own local area and have my money going to support a local farm. And so that's another reason why that motivates people to actually seek out a farmer and join a CSA. There's plenty of other reasons why people join, but we're going to move on and ask the next question, which is about quality of vegetables. Is organic or important to you? Are you looking for a vegetable CSA so that you can have a higher, maybe safer quality of food that you're eating? So then the question is, do you want that guarantee of organic to be in the form of a certification. In our area, there are certified organic farms. That means that the farmer has gone through the process of a lot of paperwork, a lot of hours of explaining what the practices are on the farm and what the methods and the protocols are. And there's huge binders of paperwork, and we have them here on our farm. And it is quite a process to get certified, but once you're certified, the renewal process is not quite as onersome, although there is a lot of updates that you have to continue to do. So if the certification from the USDA is something that's important to you, you're going to look for that seal of approval for the CSA that you're looking for. On the other end of the spectrum, you have what are now called conventional farms. Conventional farms are ones that are using sprays and chemical fertilizers to produce their crops. Many farmers really are conscientious about what they're using and try to use them responsibly, but they are invested in the quality of their crops, the special look. Perhaps that's what their markets are demanding, and so that's the kind of product that they want to grow. You can still get very fresh vegetables from a conventional farm. It's still going to be better than your grocery store because you're eliminating all that travel and transportation. In the middle, you have a lot of farmers who are committed to growing organically but haven't gone through the USDA certification process. Well, that's where Willow Haven Farm is. But there are a lot of farms like us, and some farms don't want to go through the certification process, either because it's too expensive, too time consuming, they don't have the manpower to do it. Other farms say, look, there's some problems with the organic standards, and we don't like how they've been watered down by big corporate organic farms, and so we want to be beyond organic, and we want to we're promising to deliver an even better thing than the certified organic farms are promising. We recognize a lot of those issues, but essentially at Willow Haven Farm, we're growing organically. We're committed to organic processes, and every time we say, oh, maybe this year we can become certified organic, we something in our farm plan changes, which makes it not possible to do that year. Maybe one of these years we will become certified organic, but we've been doing this 12 seasons, over 12 years, and our customers are happy with what we are producing. They're happy with organically grown vegetables without the certification. So sometimes the motivation isn't there to go to the extra steps, and that's typical of a lot of farms as well. Another question to ask yourself is, how important is it to get to know your farmer? That's another reason that people are joining CSAs. They want to, besides support a local farm, they want to know the person that grows their food. Perhaps they want their children to learn something about farming or learn something about gardening. Perhaps you want to be able to ask your farmer questions. So, how did you grow this? How much did you spray your tomatoes, if you sprayed them with anything at all? How do you increase the fertility of your soil? When you have a local farmer, by being part of a CSA, you have direct access to them. Now, of course, farmers are busy. They can't spend hours and hours with you on the phone, but most CSAs communicate with you through email, social media, and often have events that you can come, and sometimes have an open door policy that you can come and see how they're growing their crops anytime that you want, especially if you're a member. So if getting to know a farmer and having that access to them is important, to you, then a CSA is a great thing to choose. And various CSAs give you various access to the farmer. And so knowing what kind of interaction that you want with your farmer is going to be important in your choice as well. Another really important question to ask yourself the next few questions have a lot to do with convenience. How will picking up your box of veggies fit into your lifestyle? Now, right now, it seems like we have all the time in the world because a lot of our other activities have been canceled. In most other situations, we run very busy lives. We have kids, or we have hobbies, or we have practices, or we have meetings. And so making sure that you're getting the veggies from your delivery is convenient to you is very important, because if you feel like you can't fit that into your life, you don't have a convenient way of getting your box of vegetables, and it becomes burdensome to you, you're not going to join again, and you're not going to feel like you had a great experience. So it's very important to look at the pickup locations that your farm will deliver to, and make sure that that's something that you can fit in your life for the whole season and for and every week. Another very important question is, who is going to eat all those vegetables? So, are you already a family that eats a lot of vegetables? Maybe you're juicing. Maybe you're preserving a lot of food. Maybe you've already have the habit of eating several vegetables at each meal. Or maybe this is something new for you. This is a new step in your life, and you're trying to change habits. The question to ask if you're in that position is, how committed is your family to these changes? Is it something that you and your partner are both in agreement on? Or is this something that you really want to do and you hope that you'll be able to bring your family along? Sometimes that works and sometimes that doesn't work. My advice, if you are trying to change your family's habits, is to start small. Start with a smaller number of vegetables. Don't overcommit, because if you're the only one who's going to eat them, then you're going to be happier if you don't feel like you're wasting. So another question is, do you cook? A lot of vegetables can be eaten raw and don't need a lot of preparation, but there's many vegetables that actually need to be cooked. So your potatoes, for instance. I don't know very many people who eat raw potatoes. So a certain amount of cooking is required for a CSA, because you're going to get a wide variety of vegetables. Some you'll be able to juice, some you'll be able to use in your smoothies, some you'll just cut up and eat raw. Some you won't do anything with, and you'll just eat them out of the box before they even get home, like cherry tomatoes. But others of those vegetables, you're going to have recipes and know how to cook them, and be committed to cooking several times a week. So will that fit into your life? Do you already cook? Do you already cook several times a week? Do you cook vegetables? Is cooking something that you enjoy? Is it something you enjoy being creative in? These are all questions to ask. You don't have to be super creative for a CSA, but enjoying the process is definitely something that will be to your advantage if you're making a commitment to a whole season. Another question is, are you looking to save money on vegetables by purchasing from a farm through a CSA program? Now, this is a tricky question, because you may or may not save money if you're comparing vegetable to vegetable with a grocery store. Most farmers will admit that and are perfectly happy to recognize that there are many other ways to buy food and cheaper ways to buy food for various reasons. And so, but a farmer is trying to make a living off of what he's producing. And a local CSA farmer is not getting subsidies from the government like big crop farmers are. So most CSA farmers will encourage you that if you're comparing dollar to dollar, what he is producing to what a grocery store can sell you, you may or may not save money, but you will get a higher quality product from your local farmer. And he is pretty 100% sure that his product is better and that you're going to enjoy it more. So really, we like to say that you can't compare because it's like comparing apples to oranges. And so the price comparison is going to be false. So if your main motivation is to save money by joining a farm share or a CSA, you might want to reconsider, because that's not the highest priority for the CSA product itself and for your farmer and for a lot of the other members. The next question is one that you may not have seen in any blogs when you've researched CSAs. Do you want all of your veggies picked for you and packed in your box, or do you want to pick them out yourself? So there are some CSAs are constructed a lot of different ways. I've seen local farms where they will pick a lot of the vegetables out of their fields for you and offer them at your pickup. But some of the more labor-intense crops, you have to go to the farm and pick yourself. It's kind of a pick your own option. And that's great for a lot of people because it gives them some time in the field, in the outdoors, and to give them a feeling that they're participating in the production of their food. Other people realize that that's just not going to fit into their life, and having the convenience of a pre-picked box of vegetables is going to be very important to them. So that's another choice that's out there, and something to look into when you're signing up for a CSA. So I have some. So I'm going to go over my choosing a CSA checklist that I have in front of me to make sure that I haven't missed any of these major questions here. Another question along the same lines is a customized box important to you? With the traditional CSA, the farmer grows a wide array of vegetables and gives out the same vegetable to every person in his group, in his CSA membership. And so everybody's getting a box of these 10 items, and they're all the same. And so if you like them, great. If you don't like them, give them away. Or as we mentioned earlier, sometimes when you're picking up your box, you can look through it and say, I'm probably not going to use this week. I'll leave this on the swap table if they have one, and you may be able to pick something else up that somebody left. That's one of the ways that a traditional CSA has given for customization. Other farms have gone the way of customizing, like ourselves, who give you the option of telling us at the beginning of the season what you do and don't like, what you think you'll eat and what you think you won't eat. And then we have a system that will choose vegetables from our harvest list to put in your box so that everything or almost everything that you that you like is in that box, and we're not giving you things that you absolutely hate and that you don't want to see in your box ever. So, so deciding how much you want to be pushed on whether you want to try new vegetables is important when thinking about a CSA. If you're committing to eating anything that comes in the box and learning how to cook it and be creative, then a traditional CSA will work for you. If you're saying, I want to eat vegetables, but I want a certain measure of control, then a customized CSA is going to work better for you. There's other styles of share pickups as well. So having a pre-packed box, whether it's all the same items as everyone else, or a customized box where you just walk to your pickup site, pick it up, it has your name on it, and you leave and go to your car. That's quick and easy. Or often it's called market style, where you go to your pickup location and they'll have a table full of each bins of each vegetable, and you can pick the number of items and pack them into your box or your bag, and then go on your way from there. So that's a little bit more hands-on. You can look at this bunch of carrots and say, oh yeah, I like these ones, and you can look at this eggplant and pick the right size that you want, and that will go in your box. So that's market style versus pre-packed. So the length of season is also something that's different between different farms. In our area, typically there's 20 or 22 weeks running June through October. Price, of course, is going to be reflected in the number of weeks that is being offered. And when you're committing to a whole season of vegetables, you might want to take that into consideration. Other farms break up their seasons a little bit more so that you only have to commit to a spring season, a summer season, and a fall season. That's another option to look at as well. Another choice to make when you're looking at CSAs is whether you're going to be picking up your box or having it delivered every week of that 20 or 22 week season, or whether you have an option to get every other week. So that's going to every other week is going to space out your boxes throughout the season. It give you a taste of a whole season of vegetables, but at a lesser cost because you're only getting, say, 10 boxes instead of 20. Now, a lot of variation in the CSA share then comes with add-ons or add-on shares. CSA farmers have their creativity. They've partnered with other small artisan producers or other small farms in their area that aren't direct marketing their own products possibly in order to add value and convenience and options to your local CSA. So some of those examples are adding on flowers, varieties of fruit, perhaps baked goods, bread is typical. Eggs is a very popular add-on share for many farms. Cheese is very popular. And then some of these less often seen but popular add-on shares come in different forms. Mushrooms sometimes, coffee from local roasters, meat from local meat producing farms, and the list goes on. But those are typical ones that you're going to see, at least in the farms that I've seen in the Lehigh Valley. Another choice that you should consider is whether home delivery would be the right option for you. If in previous years, I would say, the busier people with full schedules often were the ones that were choosing home delivery. In the situation that we're in today, there's a lot more reasons to get home delivery. People just aren't leaving home as often. And so but that's always been the case for, say, the elderly or for this busy mom with kids at home. So home delivery is definitely on the rise, and it's a convenient option. Others, despite the difficulties of the situation that we're in today, may want to continue to go to a pickup location just to have an excuse to get out of the house. We often have people who are coming to the farm to pick up their food because it's the one outing, safe outing, drive in the country. And throughout our years, people have really enjoyed coming to the farm to pick up their vegetables because it's an experience. And there's added value in that because their kids get to see the farm. They get to enjoy the outdoors. Sometimes they bring their well-behaved dogs along. Often they get to talk to us, the farm family, at the farm pickup sites. So weighing your priorities is going to be the determining factor for those kinds of choices. Another question is your farm offering you extras that you can purchase? Are you going to want to have access to bulk items for canning or preserving, or just a lot of extra, or for an event that you have coming up? How easy is it to get extra vegetables or other farm products from your farm? Let's see, I'm still looking through my list here. Right, so another good question to ask your farmer is, what kind of vegetables, what crops is he growing? Some farms specialize in growing heirloom varieties. So those are less productive, maybe more flavorful, maybe funny shaped, or different varieties of vegetables that you haven't seen and you haven't seen at the store or maybe even the farmer's market, but are absolutely delicious. And it takes more time, money, and skill to grow those. And so if you're looking for that kind of a food experience, you're going to go towards a farmer who's growing a more variety, more specialty vegetable crops for you. If you are just trying to get more of the basics, then you're going to ask, how many of the basics are you growing? Do you have just plain green beans and red round tomatoes and things like that? If you want to get your family eating more vegetables, but you don't think they're going to eat the strange ones, that's a consideration for you. Another thing that farms offer is opportunities to volunteer or farm events. Now those are kind of in jeopardy in our current situation, but hopefully by the summer we will be able to be together again and have communities and have special events on farms where social distancing isn't an issue. But that remains to be seen. But when you're looking for a CSA, that's something to consider. It's probably not highest on your priority list, but it's an added benefit and an added value of being associated with the local farm. You're not going to get to go to farm events when you're picking up your vegetables at a grocery store or getting a vegetable delivery from a national brand company. Another question is, how does your farm communicate with its members? So what channels of communication are you on, and what are your farms on? Look at, are they posting on Instagram, Facebook, and what do they say about email communication? email communication is pretty much a very important way to communicate when you're talking about online purchases. That's how you get your confirmations and the information that you need about your products. So email communication is important, but is it all just business details, or are they sending you stories about how your food is grown so that you can feel even more connected to your farmer, even though you don't get to be there and watch them all the time? And finally, you need to find out how much support your farm is going to be giving you to help you use your vegetables. Are they going to provide recipes? Are they going to teach skills so that you know how to use them? And are they going to offer storage information so that what you get in your box is not going to go bad because you didn't know what to do with it? Do you keep this on the counter, or do you put it in the refrigerator? Are the vegetables that you're getting from the farm different? And should you treat them differently than from vegetables that you get from the grocery store? A lot of farms will send information. You have to find out how they're communicating that information. Find out even from other members how satisfied they are with the information that the farms are giving you. So that's the end of my checklist here. I've gone through quite a bit of information as to how to choose a CSA. And one thing that I also wanted to talk about is a membership agreement. So when you choose to be part of a CSA, most of the farms are going to ask you to agree to the terms. The terms usually have to do with payment before and or during the season. They have to do with what happens if you miss a pickup. What's the protocol for missing or skipped vegetable boxes? Also has to do with understanding the variety of the seasons and how that's going to affect your box so that your expectations meet what your farmer is able to produce. And also the risk aspect of partnering with a farm. What is the farm's policy if there's a major disaster on the farm? And what are you agreeing to? So you'll want to look at the membership agreement and find out what refund policies there are and how much risk you're taking. I just want to say something about that, in that CSA farmers are very responsible and feel very strongly committed to their members. And they've developed strategies over the years so that and farmers in general have developed strategies over the years so that when Mother Nature takes its toll and things happen on the farm that are out of our control, we have a plan in place to deal with that. So even if a crop fails, often we've planned ahead and we have other crops to replace them, or we can replant, or various other ways of dealing with that kind of thing. So the risk, there is some risk, but it has more to do nowadays with variations from year to year or from week to week that you'll see in your CSA box, rather than a huge disaster where you won't get anything and you won't get any money back at all. That's very extremely rare. So the membership agreement is something that you'll probably be required to go through with your farm when you're signing up for a CSA. It may also have to do with the software or the email that you're agreeing to receive. And usually there's very little risk to you in signing that agreement. But if you have any questions, you should ask the farmer himself. So I'm going to wrap that up and just say, I hope that has been helpful. I hope that you feel confident about what a CSA is and how to choose one that fits into your life. please go ahead and download the checklist. That's at willowhavenfarmpa.com/checklist, and I will have that up for you shortly after this video. So thanks for joining me. I enjoyed it. I hope that this was helpful, and I will have another video coming your way on Wednesday, which will be what comes in a box. So we'll explain everything about that, and I look forward to seeing you then. All right, take care.